Today I'm going to be talking about laying Firebase in iOS app development with Swift. Help us scale easily and allow us to focus on creating amazing experience. Firebase is a platform backed by Google. It's exactly that tool in today's talk. I will take you through how Firebase can transform your iOS development workflow. Not only iOS development workflow, Android development workflow, web development workflow. Now, what is the true meaning of Firebase? Firebase is a backend as a service platform that offers developers a set of powerful tools to build, test, manage mobile applications. We all know that for you to scale your business, you also need to create mobile applications because we have about most of the users use mobile application. You can see mobile application anywhere you go, either Android or either iOS. But most times in the US, iOS is more found in the US. Like if you want to scale your business or your startup, you must be considering using building for iOS because most of the users in US consume iOS, and iOS have created iOS is an application that is easy to create in-app purchase. That's why most of the revenue generated by companies comes from the iOS side of things. Now, as we're saying, whether you are building a small prototype or a large-scale production app, Firebase provides everything from authentication, real-time database, class storage, analytic, crash reporting. The best part is it integrates seamlessly with iOS, so you don't have to worry about complicated setup or server management. What this means is that it's very easy to imagine that Google engineers have created an SDK for you to consume on your iOS applications, your Android applications, your web applications, and it will take you time. So if you have a startup idea, you can easily scale with Firebase in the sense that everything is provided to you from authentication, cloud messaging, real-time database, analytic, and the rest of it. Now, what is Firebase in terms of non-technical terms? Think of Firebase as a superpowered toolbox for app developers, created by Google to make app development easier. I'm telling you because they created this platform to make app development easier for you to be able to scale. You can, if you have an app idea and you want to scale from maybe from you just need your first 100 users to pitch to like a co-founder or to pitch to like to pitch to like VCs. You can start up with Firebase if you are just like a mobile developer. Maybe you're a Flutter developer that can write a single big code base that can work with two, or you're an Android developer, or you are an iOS developer, or you're a web developer. You can just start with Firebase. You can use Firebase database to actually scale. Like it's like having a whole team of experts handling complex tasks for you. Like I said, imagine setting up cloud messaging. Cloud messaging is a very, very difficult thing to set, but just by installing the SDK on your mobile phones, you can easily get cloud messaging. Like you can set push notification, which can also drive your user engagement, increase your user engagement in your application. In terms of maybe you are building like a weather app, for example, now, and you want to set certain notification at a certain particular time, or you're building like an alert app that warns people about certain regions in certain location, just like due to the insecurity in Nigeria now, you just have an idea that if you have this application, it's going to warn you about certain regions or certain regions are not safe in Nigeria. You can just create an application that based on cloud messaging and send users certain notification when that particular region is not safe for uh, users, so that users can be able to divert that particular region, or users can be able to not travel at that particular point. And it's free to start with generous limit. Like there are limitations. Like Firebase have a particular place which is a pay as you gain. That's why if you scale above like 100 or 200 users, be considering paying Firebase, but it's not for everything. I think it's for the database. Now, why the developer love Firebase? Work instantly with your iPhone. Like you don't need to waste like 3 minutes, 4 minutes. You're already done with setup. You can easily start integration. You can easily run that certain application or your certain mobile application on your phone, and the Firebase is already connected to it. You don't need to actually take like 1 hour, 2 hours for the server to be set up. No complex setup required. The SDK has already been created by Google for you to consume. It's just like calling a one line code, which I'll be going through later on. start free, pay only when you grow. Like start free, can start free till you get to like 200 users, 300 users. Then at that time you can actually start paying Firebase, and you can actually start paying Firebase. And before you get to 200 and 100 users, are you already thinking of making profit from your application? Or if you are running an NGO foundation, you should be thinking of not using the database and consume other services like the cloud messaging, the analytic, and the rest of it. Get your app to grow faster, running faster. Get the Google SDK does not really affect your performance of your application. Once you start the application, does not really affect it. Your application still has a correct load time because it has been built by Google engineers and optimized by Google engineers. Now, what are the core? I'm discussing the core features that you can for iOS developers, not for iOS developers, for mobile web. These features can be found anywhere, mobile, web, either iOS or Android or web. Now, authentication is one of the particular features that can be found there, making login easy and secure. Let users sign in with email and password. We have uh, an SDK API for email and password. We have a Google, Facebook, and Apple account login. We have phone number login. And these particular data are mostly secured by Google itself because Firebase is like a secure platform. If you are thinking of writing your own security code, you can, like I said, it's just like a way for you to start your journey in terms of building your own code base. Like having a security guy who checks your ID for you. No need to worry about password security because this particular security have already been built on Firebase. Now, another feature we'll be going through is the real-time database. Like I said, if you are building like for example a chat app, a game score app, maybe a live score app, you can use Google real-time Firebase to actually build that particular idea of your application. It's just like think of it as a magical notebook. Write something on one page, it instantly appears on everyone's page. For example, you can write something on a particular page, you can send something on a particular page, and instantly it appears on somebody's page. And this is the method for actually calling it on the iOS side of things, but it will still be a one-liner code for web, and it will also be a one-liner code for Android. Now, another particular feature is a cloud storage. Your app asset digital closet store users content like the profile pictures, videos, and documents. For example, if you're building a chat app, you can link the Firebase storage to store that particular pictures, videos sent by one user to another, or sent by users on a group chat. Then, like having unlimited storage that grows with your needs, pay only for what you use. Like you pay only for what you use. There's a certain limit or certain gig that is free. When you get a particular gig, which is when you get to that particular gig, you know that you are getting to about 3 or 400 users. You should be thinking of generating revenue to actually pay if you want to continue Firebase. So this is like the method used for putting on the class storage. It's a very easy method, a one-liner method on the iOS, and still a one-liner method on the Android, and still a one-liner method on the web. Now, another key feature is the analytic. See how people use your app. It's like having a friendly spy who tells you which features are popular, where users get stuck, who your users are, or privacy friendly. Like if you are using the analytic, which I'll be demonstrating later on, you can see where your users are, the most features visited by your users, where your users are coming from. Are they coming from Nigeria? Do you have like 200 users from Nigeria? Do you have like 45 users from any analytic at all? If you release a particular feature, you can easily tell that okay, this particular feature is used by user. Should I take it out of my application? Or there's a particular feature that is actually causing a very low time by your application. You can tell if that particular feature is worth it or not. By when you are taking data-driven decision, you know that you see that your database or the way your user use the application begin to improve. Just like for example, Twitter released a feature called Fleet, and many users were some users were using it, but many users were not using it. But they realized that this particular feature is actually consuming what is not really giving. They are not really making profit from it. Users are not really consuming it and the rest of it. So they have to take the fleet off the way they wanted users to um, consume it. They have to take it off in order to improve the performance of the application because less code also improves the performance of the application. So with this particular analytic, I'm able to tell the country, for example, if 200 users are coming from Nigeria, maybe your database is made up of 200 users, and 100 users are coming from Nigeria, 45 from United States. You know that okay, I have to create more content that is African friendly than more content that is Europe friendly. You understand? Because most of your users are actually from Nigeria. If most of your users are from United States, you have to create content that are related to United States. If most of your if 50 users are coming from Nigeria, 50 users from United, then you know you have to create a content that in case if you are using it, if your application is a content creating application, maybe your application is an application that drops content for users. I'm just saying in terms of uh that niche of that particular application. Maybe you created the application that releases content. You understand? And 50 of your users are from United States, 50 of your users are from Nigeria, 50 of your users are from maybe Europe. So you have to create a uniform content that's relatable to three of those regions. You understand? If you don't have this analytic, imagine just you don't have this analytic, you just continue creating Nigerian content that most of your users does not understand from the United States or from Europe. You know it's going to reduce the number of users because they can't relate to that particular content. So it's going to drive them off the application. One day they are just going to delete the application because they cannot find the application useful to them. So by just analyzing that particular data coming from your application, number of users coming from your application, or number of users coming from a particular region, you can easily improve your application performance. You can also improve the number of users in your application because if you create uniform content, definitely more users are going to come into the application because they find the application useful. But if you create a particular content, like maybe you thought that okay, all your users are coming from Nigeria, just creating content that um only Nigerian users can use it. Definitely, your application is going to grow in Nigeria side, but what about your US side? They are going to end up deleting the application, and it might be the one that the US or the Europe users might be the one to generate revenue for you in terms of in-app purchase. Now, another part of the key features is the cloud messaging, which is send notification to users about new messages, updates, special offers. For example, if you have a e-commerce application, you can easily send notification maybe for Black Friday and say, okay, we have 50% discount if you go into the application, or you have like an application that have to do with creating of gift card and the rest. You can say, okay, I have 20% off my rate of gift card and the rest. Those applications, or you have an application that you sell cars, you can say, okay, this particular car is this particular going for 40% down. So if you users using the application can easily be notified, okay, this car is 40% down. Normally I can buy this car for like 7 million, but they're saying that I can get this car for like 4 million now. Imagine. So more users will be able to say, okay, they know that that particular car, in case you have a car application, I'm just saying that is like it's 4 million instead of 20 million. You can easily rush that particular offer, and you can also drive users engagement to your application in terms of users visiting your application more, in terms of oh, this particular update, I don't need to really wait for this update, I'll just be checking every day. You understand? So that can actually improve the number of users visiting your application. You can also send like promotion about a particular event. Maybe you are hosting a particular event on your application and you don't want to disturb users. You can easily broadcast notification to them and say, okay, users of that particular I'm hosting a particular event about this application. Maybe an NGO foundation, you actually have a Bible application and you are actually hosting a charity to you actually want to partake on charity, just like this December that many NGO foundations will be going to charity, going to help people that cannot eat or the rest of them, and you want to host a campaign, you can easily send notification to your users consuming your application and say, okay, we're hosting a charity at this particular point without disturbing them. You can easily, if you want to partake of the charity, call this particular number or send this particular number to your account. Even though that particular, you don't that particular feature to be on your application, you can easily send notification to them telling them, okay, if you want to partake of this, call this particular number like that. You can actually campaign for that particular uh event you want to do, maybe like an orphanage event or something like that. So with ease, without just by consuming the SDK, like just like setting up a 3 or 4 minute setup, and with this you can actually achieve a lot. So that Google created this platform for us to actually consume. It's like having a personal messenger for your app, keep users coming back and keep users coming back to your application in terms of updating them. Maybe you have like an application that updates users about a particular region, like I said, like a safety application that is not safe to Nigeria. You can keep users coming back to the application because the application is worth it, right? They can be able to tell that okay, that particular region is not safe. Just like for example, if during the era of COVID, if you built an application that updates users based on number of COVID patients in Nigeria or the most COVID region in Nigeria or the most COVID region in the world, if you have an application like that that can send users notifications to notify them about everything, that can easily scale your application in terms of users actually finding the application useful because you are giving them a particular data they cannot see anywhere without them even searching for that particular data. Now, also crashlytics. For example, if you build an application that is crashing and you don't know what is making the application crash, the Google SDK has been built in a way that it tell you that particular point that your application is crashing. Just like, for example, when the OS 18 came out, there was a lot of crashes. The way developers were able to mitigate this particular crashes by going into their crashlytics, reading the crash log and say, okay, this particular place is crashing because of this particular thing. You understand? Because Apple is improving every day. I'm just talking about relating in terms of the Apple side and what happened when the OS 18 came out and it was crashing a lot of applications. With the crash log, you can be able to detect easily and reduce um, downtime in your startup or in your software because of the fact that you can easily tell where that particular crash is coming from. Just like for example, if you mistakenly sit down on the chair and the pin is on the chair and mistakenly pierce you, and you can be able to tell, okay, that particular pin is this pierce came from my leg region. That means this this particular PS came from my leg region. That means this pin is this particular region. Can easily tell where that particular crash is coming from, and it can save you a lot of time in terms of you will not be able to be you be you don't need to overhaul your code, going through your code because you can just read from the crash log. Just like a message are telling you that okay, this particular thing crashed your application. You understand? It's telling you the particular point where that particular crash is coming from. So you don't need to overhaul your code looking for where it's crashing and waste a lot of time. Imagine looking for where it's crashing and your code base is so large. It's going to take you a lot of time. But this crash list can save you a lot of time. Imagine you're a developer, maybe you have a developer working for you and that particular application is crashing or that particular software is crashing. And it can take developer over 2 months, 3 months just to find a problem because your application is very large. Because crashes do happen like the OS 18 now, because the OS 18 came out and crashes were happening not because the code was wrong, it's just because maybe there was a particular update that was affecting the application, making the application to crash. So with this particular crash, you can easily detect and save your company a lot of time. Something that can take like 1 month, 2 months for a developer to find, just take the developer less than 7 hours. You can imagine save you cost, save you money, save you time, save you downtime. So that's it for Crashlytics. So now, for example, now, this is a real world example. Maybe we want to set up a chat app right now. I have an idea of a chat app. We just need the login, which is part of the features I discussed earlier. Authentication is there. We just need send message, return database is there for you to integrate. Sharing of pictures, cloud and storage is there for you to share your pictures. You don't need to create a database for to hold your pictures. It's already there on Firebase. Cloud messaging, you can get notification for particular users when they send you a message. It's already there on Firebase. You can easily integrate it on your application. Analytic, you can easily tell when users are chatting on your application. Is it in the night, in the morning, so you can easily tell. Uh, Run a campaign based on that because if users are using your application in the night and you're sending notification in the morning, it's not going to be proper. So you need to with this real-time analytics, you can tell when certain users are using the application. Maybe you have like 500 active users on your application at that particular region, so you can at that particular time, so you can every night. But in the morning, you have just like 69 users, so you know that you send the proper time to send your notification is in the night because it's more useful, right? Because sending notification to 500 users is better than sending notification to 69. And you know that part of the 500 users will still be active in the morning at 69, but if you have like 500 users active every night. It's better to send notification at that particular region. So you can really take data-driven decision and actually improve your software, improve your startup, and the rest of it. Now, it's very easy to set up a Firebase account, just like creating a Gmail. You just need to create a Firebase account, add Firebase to your software, is that iOS, Android, or web. Start with one feature and add more as you grow. You don't need to start with everything. You understand? You can just start with the analytic at first, which the analytic is very, very useful. And as you grow, you can easily implement more features into your application. Now, what are the concerns that need to be addressed? It's secure, it's easily to, it can easily scale, it's reliable, no downtime. Downtime is like less than 0.5%. It is easy, it's not hard to learn, it's easy to integrate, like I said, just like a one-liner thing. Instead of building a database, just easily consuming one-liner thing, and you can scale from this particular point. Now, resources for learning more, there are rich documentation for you to consume. Google has created YouTube tutorials in case you are stuck. There's a very large community forum in case you're implementing something and it's not working fine on your end. Sample project, there are sample projects created by Google for you to follow, for you to consume, for you to like practice on. So everything just like there for you to just like consume. It just waiting for you to just like it's just waiting for you to just like act on it and actually steal from that particular point. Now, we're taking a quick flow about looking at Google Analytics because of the non-technical people right here. We'll be looking at just the analytic interface for Firebase right now. This is the Firebase I was talking about, this Firebase interface, but I'll just be walking through the analytic because of the time. So you can see that this is a real-time analytic. We have 149 active users, 40 active users in the last 10 minutes. This is particular page visited by the users, and from here you can actually take data-driven decisions. Then I will go to the analytic dashboard. So this is the analytic dashboard. This is the sidebar. Let me just talk about sidebar: loading, storage, Firebase authentication, dynamic link, which I was talking about. So you can see the analytic 35 key views on the particular application in the last 30 days, 14K in the last 7 days, 143 active users in the last 30 minutes. Now you can see the top countries of number of users. Nigeria is first, 124 active users coming from Nigeria. United Kingdom 6 users. United States 5 users, Benin 3 users, Canada 3 users. So with this, only this number of active users can actually take data-driven decisions and content creating decisions and also marketing decisions in the sense that okay, you have the highest number of users coming from Nigeria, so you can actually create marketing strategy about around certain regions that are not really much on your application in terms of you can increase your marketing in United Kingdom and United States since you have the number of highest number of users coming from Nigeria. And also, you can also take content data decision in the sense that you can create more content uh, in Nigeria in terms of, or you can create more content in United Kingdom, more content that is relatable to United Kingdom due to the fact that you have less users just to drive users into the application. And also you can also take software decisions from here in terms of this is the highest page visited in the application. You can also okay, I want to improve the loading time of the highest feature or the highest page visited by users, which is chapter activity um, screen. You can also work on that particular screen to improve the loading time due to the fact that it's mostly visited by users. uh, so you can actually take content data decisions from here. You can also take marketing decisions from here, and also you can also take um you can take content decisions from here, marketing decisions from here, software decisions from here. So with this little data, you can actually see how this particular data can actually impact our software in a very very nice and better way, making our software nice and better. So I'll be closing up from here with the interface of the database. Quote that Steve Jobs, my mentor, actually said, we should like stay hungry, stay foolish. It does not mean you should be you should stay hungry or stay foolish. What this means is that never be satisfied
and always push yourself. That's the meaning of stay hungry. Stay foolish means do or keep willing to keep trying the things people say cannot be done. That is like stay hungry, stay foolish. Keep trying the things that people say cannot be done. Any idea you have, push yourself to the limit. Keep trying things that people say, oh, I can't do this, but you can do this. Always have that in back of your mind that everything that you actually want to do is actually possible. So that I'm glad we made it this far. So this will be the end of my session. Thank you.